Guys, welcome back to HPL. We just saw SjoW win 3-1 over Osaka. Very small missteps costing him in a big way.
Yeah, it was a very close match. You saw Osaka come very close to winning game one multiple times. Had a one-outer, was one damage away earlier in the game, but SjoW persevered, got that win, and then won the match 3-1. And as you said, he's up 2-0 here in HPL.
Yeah, staying patient, staying calm, very important things to think about when you're playing in a professional environment like this. It sounds like we've got SjoW on the line for us here right now. SjoW, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello.
Wow, fantastic series, back and forth pretty much the entire step of the way. And I'm going to throw you the first question kind of going to game one. This felt like it was kind of a difficult matchup for both of you to tackle because of the dynamic that you had between the two of you, both of you playing control, but, you know, kind of going against the grain. He typically will play Freeze Mage. We know that you're great with Warrior. Talk to us about your Druid pick in game one, and were you surprised to see that he picked Druid?
I studied him a bit before this match, and I came to the conclusion that Druid would be at least 50% at worst against the things he would probably start with. And it became a 50-50, even though he added 2 BJs to his Druid, which I saw. And I also, when I went into this match, I kinda, what's the word? What I expected from him to think I would play would probably like Warlock, Handlock, and maybe Control Warrior, and maybe Hunter. And as you can see, he picked Druid with 2 BGH in it. So I kind of won the first mind game set there, I think, even though it became a 50-50 game.
Mind games so big here in HPL, and you seem to be playing them great in your matchups so far. Now, one thing I wanted to know was in that last game when you had the mirror match of Grim Patron there, you both seemed pretty stressed. I could see it on both sides, and he made a small misstep or two in the match. It's pretty debatable, but he forgot to armor up that one game. Were you feeling the stress like he was?
Yeah, I kinda. Before the match, I thought he would play Control Warrior again, and then I would have an unfavorable matchup. But I do think that his not armoring up is not a mistake. It's intentional to make Battle Rage so he can Battle Rage there. But even though he had a weapon, like usually you can get down to below 29 with the weapon, but not always. So I think that was intentional, not to armor up from his part.
Oh,
good point.
Yeah, very small things being taken into account there. It's kind of weird to think that, you know, gaining extra health just because you can is actually not the right play to make in a matchup like that. I'm going to go back to game one again because the Druid one was particularly interesting to me. He came out very aggressive on turn 5 with Druid of the Claw and charged at you. What kind of read did you have going into that turn, and how did you feel like the game was going to pan out? Because it was extremely close to slipping away in that one.
Yeah, in hindsight, the charge was probably a mistake because I had a Savage Roar there, and I didn't have a 5-drop. Like the line he went with kind of indicated that he had a very aggressive hand, like probably combo in his hand already or something, and lots of spot removal. So like it ended up being worse for him that he actually charged here because I could clear the board then. And then I could claw my way back to the game.
All right, so SjoW, how are you liking the format here in HPL so far? It seems to be agreeing with you quite a bit. You're 2-0 here. You've got some very, very good queue-ups against your opponent. Have you been doing a lot of homework? You said you did coming into this match. And do you see yourself doing as well and as much homework going forward?
Yeah, sure. You need to be a bit lucky, of course, as well. At first I thought the format was kind of bad because I played this format before with sideboard, but back then you knew your opponent's class. Now you have no idea what your opponent's gonna pick, so you can't actually hard counter here. Like it's a lot of mind games, and I really like mind games. I always feel like I always know what my opponent's gonna pick. Like I always feel like I'm always one step ahead in that department.
Well, you've been doing fantastically so far, picking up your second win here in HPL. Congratulations on that, and of course, looking forward to seeing more of you play.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for match number 2. SjoW, very on point, making sure he studies his opponents very carefully to know exactly what they're playing. Now, call me crazy, but I would say that PvPlive.net is helping him study his opponents a little bit. He can go see their full breakdowns, their competitive histories, exactly what they've played and how they've played them, and you can too. Head over to that website, check everything out, VODs, recaps, everything you want to know about the competitors here in HPL and a lot of your favorite players around the scene in general. That's our second match in the books, but match 3 is coming up after this one. Jab versus Era is going to be our third match of the night when we come back. Both of them looking to tie up the series, and one of them, again, going home with a 0-2 record, not the place you want to be. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.